There is a massive scandal right now unfolding involving Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and construction giant SNC-Lavalin. So SNC-Lavalin is a Montreal-based company that right now is facing fraud and corruption charges in connection to payments that were made to Libyan officials. So right now, this is in the preliminary hearing stage, and here's more from CBC News. SNC-Lavalin is before a court in Montreal charged with fraud and corruption in connection with payments of nearly $48 million to public officials in Libya under Gaddafi's government and allegations it defrauded Libyan organizations of an estimated $130 million. If convicted, the company could be blocked from competing for federal government contracts for a decade. So if convicted, it would be a huge loss to SNC-Lavalin, which of course means that the CEO is not happy about this. So this is a report from the Financial Post in December. SNC-Lavalin CEO says impasse over corruption charges has cost company more than $3.7 billion. CEO says Canada's failure to reach a negotiated settlement continues to damage the company's reputation and is being used against them by its competition. So SNC-Lavalin is facing serious charges here, and the CEO is complaining that the government hasn't been able to negotiate a deal for these charges. Now, you have to understand here, it's going to get crazy. So, luckily, I mean, looking at this from the Canadian perspective in terms of, oh, we're Canada, we don't do anything really terrible. We don't bow to corporate pressure. We don't answer to big money interests. Well, that may have been true under Justice Minister Jody Wilson-Raybould, but last month she was, for some reason, moved to a different position. So check this out. Vancouver's Jody Wilson-Raybould out as Justice Minister as Trudeau shuffles cabinet. So that was from January 14th. Now, it's kind of weird that this follows complaints from the CEO of the company, and the Justice Minister who's handling the case, she was moved somewhere else. Now, why exactly would she be moved somewhere else? Well, we got our answer this week from a report in the Globe and Mail. Prime Minister's office pressed Wilson-Raybould to abandon prosecution of SNC-Lavalin. Trudeau denies his office directed her. Now, this is just the beginning. So let me show you this clip of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau being asked about this, and watch how he avoids the question, and watch how he goes back to his scripted response of how he didn't direct her to do this.
But just to go back to SNC-Lavalin, with regards to the statement that was made in the Globe story, we're saying that, and you're saying now that the PMO did not direct in any way. But the question is whether there was any sort of influence. Are you saying categorically there was absolutely no influence or any pushing whatsoever in this?
The allegations reported in the story are false. At no time did I or my office direct the current or previous Attorney General to make any particular decision in this matter.
But not necessarily direct, Prime Minister. Was there any sort of influence whatsoever?
As I've said, at no time did we direct the Attorney General, current or previous, to take any decision whatsoever in this matter.
Now, what else can you possibly get from that answer? He directly avoids the question about was there any influence for her to drop this case. But then he goes to his standard answer. Oh, we didn't direct her to do this. Okay, but was there influence? We didn't direct her to do this. I mean, that tells you everything you need to know. But there's even more. So check out this reporting from Global News. In an unusual public letter issued after she was shuffled, Wilson-Raybould stressed the need for the justice system to remain free of the perception of interference, but did not comment on the specifics of why she wanted to make that point. Quote, "It is a pillar of our democracy that our system of justice be free from even the perception of political interference and uphold the highest levels of public confidence, she said in the letter. So after she was shuffled to a different position, to a lower level position in the cabinet, she then put out this letter saying how it's very important that the justice minister remains free from even the perception of political interference. And it kind of caught people off guard, like, why is she releasing this? And then that Globe and Mail piece hit. Oh, maybe she felt the influence. She felt the pressure to drop this case. I mean, clearly she did. Now, she's being asked about it, but she can't answer. So her answer is that I can't talk about this. So she just keeps giving no comment answers to the allegations, which again feeds into this case. You have Trudeau avoiding the questions directly. You have Wilson-Raybould, who would have been the person that was pressured to drop the case, completely avoiding the questions. And it goes even deeper. So check out this. Guy Caron, parliamentary leader for the New Democratic Party, drew a link between the allegations and illegal political donations the company has made in the past. Quote, SNC-Lavalin illegally gave more than $110,000 to the Liberal Party and its riding associations. Today, SNC-Lavalin needs a helping hand because they are in trouble, Caron said, pointing out that the company had lobbied the government more than 50 times in the past 2 years. So, is that enough evidence for you? You have a Liberal Party that is being directly influenced by a massive company that doesn't want to lose their government contracts, even though they are under serious fraud and corruption charges and would likely be convicted if the case goes through. But you have Trudeau pressuring the justice minister to drop the case, which, I mean, good on her. She held to her principles and decided not to listen to him, which then moved. Again, this is all still, allegedly, but it looks like this is exactly what happened. So she was being pressured from the report. She was being pressured to drop the case. She didn't. So Trudeau moved her somewhere else and put somebody in that we assume would or will drop the case, at least until this report came out. This shows you that just like the Conservative Party, the Liberal Party is also run by special interests. Both of these parties, the Conservatives and the Liberals, it's about what corporations want, what the wealthy want, what the elite want. The Liberal Party is just a conservative party masquerading itself as a progressive party. Don't fall for it.